for dropping by. My name's Leah, and we're going to be recapping Real Housewives of Orange County. This is season 16, episode 13. So we all caught up now. And we're going to talk about these ugly reunion looks that was just released. They are horrid. All of them, except Shannon's. But as an ensemble, they are horrid. We're going to talk about these reunion looks. Not much really happened in this episode. That's why I'm talking about the reunion looks. First up is Miss Shannon. Shannon looks the best out of all the women. It's a pretty like blush kind of bodycon dress. It's long sleeves and she looks great. Before we get into this, y'all, it is thundering and storming like cats and dogs, and I'm trying to get this video out before I gotta go to class and before my power cuts off. Fingers crossed the power don't go off. Okay? Next is Emily. This looked like something she got out of Target. It is ugly. What is all this ruffles and like that belt? I haven't seen that belt since 2001. I didn't even know they made dresses like this anymore. Like, this is reminding me of my homecoming dress. This is ugly, and that homecoming dress was ugly. Emily dresses like... I don't know what's up with Emily because she has an amazing body, but she dresses like she's 59 pounds. Like, overweight. And this is ugly. And even the big girls out there wouldn't wear this. And they be doing fashion up nowadays. Fashion be hitting it. So what is this, girl? What is this? Noella, you disappointed me because you've been bringing cute outfits. This like sarong, silk. First of all, it's wrinkled. There are legitimate wrinkles on the long part of the dress where the slit is. And then I love her faux locks. The faux locks is cute, but this is ugly. And her makeup too dark. Do better next season. Heather looked like she just stepped out of the 1950s, like she about to go to the sock hop, like we film in Greece. What is this? What is this? She looks like she about to go to Easter. I don't like it, and I'm mad because the dress that she had on today, that black dress, Heather can somewhat dress, so this is ugly. This look like Easter Sunday. Did your mama dress you, Heather? Then Jen. The color is pretty on her skin, but them ugly, like, lime, well, that wouldn't even be lime, like taupish blue ruffle feathers. Like, it looks like it's supposed to be like, what's it called? Those, like, robes that people wear with, like, the poofy sleeves with the feathers at the end. It's not giving what it was supposed to give. If she had not had that at the bottom of her dress, I would have been like, you come in a hot second on the Shannon. And then Gina, this ain't it. This ain't it. Like, are you about to go to the club with your friends? Like, we about to cut up on the town like we still in college, because this is a college. Everybody looks the best. Praise God, praise him for Roa and Real Housewives of Potomac, because the chocolate ladies, the black ladies, seem to only want to bring fashions, and in a smooth third is New Jersey, because at least they all follow concepts. I don't know what the concept of this is, and I'm frustrated. This is ugly. Do better. Y'all got money to do better. But let's get into this this episode. Y'all, so the episode opens up and we see Noella walking with her mom. What's it called? Jen setting up for her brain party. And then Shannon filming a commercial, I guess, for her business. I'm starting to get annoyed with Noella, but y'all already knew I was annoyed with her. So I don't know why I keep saying I'm starting to get annoyed with her. She always been sus to me. But the issue with Noella is, like, now it seems like she's very, like, nitpicky of Jen, when it was the reverse. Jen seemed very nitpicky of Noella. So it's kind of like they're two sides of the same coin. Honestly, for both of the newbies, I'm not feeling neither one of them. Even though they've been added to the cast, they're both kind of off to me. Like, Noella is obnoxious and very, she seems to be like Misery Loves Company-esque. And she seems to be very nitpicky of Jen. And then you have Jen, who's very, like, dry, not as funny as she thinks she really is. and she's nitpicky of Noella as well, and it's just kind of like, I'm over her whole, like, is she gonna divorce Ryan or not? So neither one of them get points from me. We then go to Heather's house, and Heather and Terry are having like a rap party. So if you don't know, Terry and Heather have this show called Stitch Year, and I saw a clip of it on Twitter. If I can find the clip, I'll link it. If I can't, I'll just post a little picture of it. But the show is basically about couples being in their like 7th or 8th year of marriage, which seems to be the year of marriage where things get very hard, or it's like their make or break year. And they give the relationship a makeover, and they give the couples a makeover. So they just finished, I think it's going to be on E! They get finished making that, wrapping that. So this is the wrap party because they just finished filming it. So it's nice. Like I said, Gina is such a groupie, and it's very annoying because she's walking in with Travis, her boyfriend, and she's like, I just love going to Heather's house. It's always a different vibe. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's sushi and dark decor and opulence. Sushi, dark decor, and opulence. Even when they went to, Texas, even when they went to New York, they went to an Asian themed restaurant because I remember seeing a lot of Asian decor, and people were ordering teriyaki, filet mignon. I think I heard somebody order like something with like sesames on it. So it's like she gives the same thing, just a different day. So what are we talking about, Gina? I can't. It's weird to me for her to be there's nothing wrong with having with admiring people. There's plenty of people who are like older than me and younger than me that I admire their drive and their ambitions, but I would never be this like up somebody's ass like this. Like I would not be like, and even if I was, you wouldn't see it on TV. It would just be me like fangirling to myself. I got self-respect, okay? So they're at the event, and and mind you, y'all, I love sushi, and that's not me hating on Heather doing sushi because I love sushi. My favorite roll is an eel roll, and then there's this one sushi place here, y'all. They do like fried yams. They look like stick French fries on top of spicy crab, spicy shrimp, and when I tell you this fire, it is fire. Like, you would think it'd be nasty because it's fried yams, but it goes for some reason. It's so good. I might get that this weekend. I might get that this weekend. The thunder, y'all. I was about to say the thunder. I did that church finger. But everyone's there except the only two castmates that came was Gina and Dr. Jen. I guess Emily couldn't come, and then I don't think Heather invited Noella or Shannon. Who knows? But it was just those three. Ryan looks kind of happy to be there, and it's interesting because I do think he has social anxiety, but I think his was kicked up a notch because they were sitting at a table, because he seemed to be really chill with Travis, who is Gina's boyfriend, and he was laughing, making jokes, and eating food. So maybe if there's no obligation to be social, because when you're sitting at a dinner table, you have to talk to people or it makes it awkward. Whereas if it's like a party in this type of space, it's like you're not really obligated to talk, but you can eat and mingle, and it's like the pressure isn't as high. We then see Gina and Jen have a conversation. They talk about supposedly like her and Ryan are supposed to be having he's supposed to be going to some Airbnb. And Gina was like, do you really can you see yourself with anybody else? And I thought Jen was going to say yes, but she said no. So Gina was like, okay, so that means you still want to fight for your marriage. Because I guess Emily told her that Emily told Gina that Jen and Ryan were, I guess, going to separate and go to an Airbnb. So then we see all three of the ladies sit down. Heather, Gina, and what's her name? And Jen. And they're just basically having a conversation. They're talking about the whole Shannon being jealous thing, which I'm sick of them doing. Cause it's like, honestly, my thing is Emily should be the one to get eaten up at the reunion, because it seems like Emily is causing this situation because she keeps running back and forth between them. And to me, she's saying exactly what Gina is saying, but it seems like she's putting 20 on 10 when it comes to what Shannon is saying. So it's making it more of an issue when there doesn't need to be an issue. But we did have, when they're sitting down, we have a conversation between about Noella, between the three ladies. So supposedly Jen doesn't really want to invite Noella to her brain event, which is going to be the ending event of the episode, because when Noella made that comment when Jen got the text for Ryan where he asked her if she could come home so they could, like, I guess talk or something, or like he missed her. And we all saw Noella whisper to Emily and be like, because we all don't have anything going on. And that really pissed off Jen. And so Jen left in a huff. So Heather was right. I think when Heather was like, if you don't want her there, then don't invite her or disinvite her, because we find out that Jen invited all of the ladies. And so she's just kind of like, I don't want her to be there if it's going to be drama, because this is something very important to me. And I co-sign what Heather says. Like, you can disinvite people. If you don't want them to ruin something that's special to you, then disinvite them. But I would say when you disinvite somebody, you should explain to them why they're being disinvited. I would be like, bruh, your attitude has been nasty. What you said at that party, I ain't like, and I don't want you there because I don't trust you. And that's what she should have said. And then the party kind of ends there. They have some guy, I don't know his name, I apologize, but he's a musician, and he did actually a really good job. The sound sounded really cute. I'm probably showing how young I am because I ain't know the song. So the next scene is Noella and her mom, and here's my thing about Noella, y'all. I like that she's a part of the cast. I think she brings the spice and the zest that this cast needs, because I feel like had she not been on this show, they probably would have canceled, because it would have been dry. It would have been dry. And everyone trying to be mad at Shannon would have got old after a while. The conversation was weird to me, because she's talking to her mom. Her and her mom go to dinner. The food looked bomb. And she's talking about the divorce proceedings. So I guess it seems like James is trying to intimidate her, because he was talking about getting corporate lawyers involved. And she was like, she doesn't care. She just wants to get everything squared away so she can move on to the next chapter of her life, which is totally understandable. I guess my thing is, like, she brings up the whole thing about, she said something to me that, like, was odd when she was like, who's going to want all of this baggage? And I'm like, why are you thinking about getting with somebody else? Like, why would, like, I don't know if she said baggage, but I think she said all of this, i.e. saying, like, you know, she has 2 kids now. Because she then referenced how she's like, you know, in 6 years, I think she's been married twice. And then she got a divorce. We know she has a daughter. And then she has the son with James. And it was just kind of like, why are you worried about getting with someone when you keep picking dudes that don't serve you in the best manner? Like, she talks about her father, how her father for the first 2 months, he really didn't like want to be with her, have a relationship with her until he figured out if she was like his with a DNA test, which I don't fault him. Like, I don't think people wanting DNA tests are wrong. I don't think when men ask for them, they're wrong, in the sense of, if this was just some fly-by-night relationship, get a DNA test. But if we've been together for years, that's when I have an issue, when dudes are like, I want a DNA test, and you've been with this girl for 25 years. Bro, that's your baby. That's your baby. But it was just like, okay. And I guess her and her dad really didn't have the best relationship. So she also talks about never dating a black man, which some people were like, that was like a nasty comment to make. I didn't really have an issue with it. I got what she was saying, where she was like, she was raised in predominantly white areas. So, and I've known what that feels like. I've grown up mostly in predominantly white areas. So it's kind of like, you start to be attracted to what's around you. So I'm not going to fault her for that. I do think things about Noella, like, I've always felt like Noella is performative and a little sus about when she wants to be black. mainly because number one, like, you know, with the, and when I say performative, it's like the whole buy black auntie bag or buy black, which I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I love the whole support black businesses pullover she had on last episode. That was really cute. But when you go on her social media, you never see her around black people. So it's like, that's what I have an issue with. I don't even have an issue with you not dating black men, but I have an issue with you saying that, like, you standing in like, okay, I'm black, but I don't see you have friendships with black people. I don't see you have like, yeah, you don't see it. Like, most of her friends are ambiguous or they're white. So are you really the black auntie? Are you really buying black? Like, it seems performative. And I also don't, and part of it is like, I don't like really critiquing people's, especially mixed people, because I'm fully black, but I don't like to critique mixed people and their relations, because I know that's a tricky relationship depending on who raised you. So I'm gonna get off that topic. But like I said, it seems performative to me. But I just think it's weird that she wants to be in another relationship. So it makes me feel like Noella is just looking for people to take care of her and her kids, which there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like, if you're not gonna vet these people, then I don't think they should be around your children like that. Next thing we see, Shane gets sworn in for the bar. I find it interesting now that they have like mentioned that Shane had already passed the bar in Utah. He was just having difficulty passing the bar in California. So I kind of feel bad that we've all been saying he's stupid and maybe this ain't his career path when he passed the bar in Utah. Maybe he just couldn't get the hang of the laws in California. But it was a sweet scene. And plus, I've never seen Shane smile that hard, which was interesting to me. We then see Gina and her kids go, and her ex-husband, Matt, go to the orthodontist. Here's my thing. I think it's sweet that, it is. I think it's sweet that they're able to do these things after the allegations of the domestic violence situation that they have. I also think it's a good thing that he was able to accept responsibility for hurting her in that manner, and that it made it easier for Gina to move on and there to be no bad blood between them, because ultimately they got 3 kids between them. I just don't want to see him on my screen. Although he fine. He a good looking man, but it's like, it's uncomfortable when for 2 seasons we've seen you cry about him, like, physically, like that physical abuse incident that y'all had. So it's weird to have him on this. And that's not to say people aren't allowed to have redemption. It's just weird. I am glad he was able to take accountability for harming her in that manner, and that they're able to have a good co-parenting relationship. The next thing we see is Emily speaking with a young man who is so Emily is starting to be a part of the Innocence Project, which I think is wonderful. And if you don't know, the Innocence Project is basically a project where these lawyers and attorneys and all these people in the justice system who try their best to get people free out of prison who have been wrongfully convicted. We meet this guy, and I'm sorry I didn't get his name, but basically he was 17 or 16 years old. Somebody said him and his friends did something. They never did it. They got interrogated like they were adults, and he spent 15 years in prison. I'm happy he's able to be out and free now. And I'm also happy that Emily felt compelled to be a part of something like this, because and I liked what he said when he was like, when people don't know how much the little things matter and make a world of difference, because Emily felt like what she did was little. So basically, with Emily being a part of the Innocence program, she is a case reviewer. So she reads all of the transcripts, all of the evidence, and then if she feels like the organization can help somebody out and help them get free, they go off based off of what she finds in those transcripts. And I was glad he said something like that, because that is true. Sometimes the little things are what makes a big, like, you know, like that. I think it's like one saying where it's like a pebble can make a huge ripple effect. So one little small pebble can change somebody's life, and that's what she did. And I think that's wonderful. The last part of the episode is Dr. Jen's brain event. So basically what the event is about is doing brain scans. And like she explained, so basically, excuse me, your nerve, there's nerves throughout your whole entire body. But she's talking about mainly the ones in your brain. And as you get older, the synapses or the electrical impulses that go between your nerves, they get weakened. So this brain scan is supposed to be able to scan to see where people are having issues and to implement, change to increase the electrical impulses in those areas. We see Gina invited Matt and not Kelly, which is his girlfriend, to be there for their daughter. If you didn't know, their daughter has like sensory issues and where she struggles, and I guess they also wanted to get her scanned, but Gina was like, I don't want to do this without her father being here. And he was pretty much for it because the little girl is in therapy. And I felt bad when Gina was saying that, like, she's smart, but she gets frustrated because she's unable to do what she wants, and that does have to be extremely frustrating. Gina, however, has horrible posture. Y'all, they said Gina looked like, if you seen the Addams Family, people on Twitter were saying she looked like Uncle Fester when he on the second Addams Family, where he had the shoulder pads and he was up like this with the bottom. Then somebody else said she looked like the shrunken heads in Beetlejuice, where they're like where the parents are like in the doctor's office or like the waiting room. And I screamed when I saw that. She has horrible posture. That coat was too big. We on that one episode where she sat down to tell on Shannon about the whole Nicole thing, she was hunched over like this talking to Heather. It's just like, Gina, like, stand up. Like, she gonna need a brace when she get older. Excuse me. We then see Johanna. And if you don't know who Johanna is, she was in the early seasons of Real Housewives of Orange County. I think Tamara poured water on her that one season, but I could be wrong. But like, yeah, she was in the earlier seasons. Before the party even kicked off, I meant to say this. Jen calls Noella, which I gotta give her points for that, because I didn't think she was gonna do it. And she basically told Noella, like, I was gonna disinvite you, but I don't want to because I would like you to be here, but you really, like, you bothered me with your comment. So if you're gonna come, I would like you to come with a new attitude, but if you're not, then please don't come. So she basically invited but disinvited at the same time, but she made it Noella's choice. It was basically like, if you gonna come here and show your ass, don't come. And then Jen didn't like the way that Noella ended it, talking about, we're both big girls. And I'm like, Noella, I can't even be mad at Noella, because I think I would feel some type of way too if someone called me trying to reprimand me. So I'm not really mad that she was like, we're big girls. But I'm not even upset with Jen calling her to be like, yo, this is an event that's really important to me, and I don't want you here if you're going to be, if you're going to act like a child and ruin my party. So the party's going, everybody's there. I don't know why Jen did this long, did this presentation. Like, the presentation she showed should have been a presentation done at a symposium, not at a dinner. Honestly, and it's like how my teachers always say, you got to know your audience. And your audience came to support you, get their brain scanned, drink and get drunk. You know, get drunk, eat some good food, and call it a day. So I feel like all she had to do was show, like, this is what an older person's brain looks like. This is what a younger person's brain looks like. And this is where people who have brain injuries, and this is how our machine is helping us find discrepancies in their brain function. And that's it. And then she could have told us about her father. We ended up finding out that her dad actually died because he got hit in the head with a bike. Ooh. And I guess he had a global brain injury, which meant it like affected his whole entire brain. And that's really what made him pass away, which is crazy. That's a... So the night ends with Shannon and Gina having a conversation. Shannon pulls Gina aside. Gina was like bothered by Shannon's presence. And Shannon basically was like, I'm hearing all this stuff about you saying I'm jealous of your relationship, but I'm not. And then Gina goes back and she's like, well, people are telling me you're saying I'm arrogant and I need to put a pin in it. And Shannon was like, yeah, I said that. And Gina was like, yeah, I said that you're jealous of my friendship with Heather. And Shannon is like, if people are telling me that you're saying that I'm jealous of you, I find that to be arrogant when I'm not. And Gina was like, well, that's your problem. And this is my thing. I think the girls thought that the audience who watched, like the viewers of the show, were going to be on Gina's side or Emily's side or Heather's side. And that's not really it, because they keep making jabs and keep gaslighting Shannon. And the truth of the matter is, where has Shannon shown jealousy? Really, like, she hasn't. So it's weird that they want her to be jealous. And it also lends to like me feeling like Gina is a groupie, because the seasons you were on, Shannon has had your back before Heather has gotten here. The moment Heather comes here, all of a sudden it's, you want to be a Heather Dubrow stan. And it's kind of like you're just throwing Shannon to the side, but Shannon ain't done nothing really. Y'all had that one moment with Nicole, but like, to me, you was wrong, honestly. Like, yeah, they should have told Heather, but like, you made it something. You, Gina, and you and Emily made it something, Gina. So I'm confused. But it left to be continued, where I feel like it didn't need to be continued, because I don't think anything else is really gonna transpire other than them yelling back and forth to each other. But that's neither here nor there. But y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic. Drop down in the comments below and let me know your thoughts. And I'm out. Deuces.